Hey guys, how's it going? Blake Hester here. I want to talk today about ranges, how I go about ranges. This is typically what I do, what I've been taught, and so I just wanted to kind of talk about that. And I actually have a good example of kind of what has been happening with gold this past few days. And so yeah, let me go ahead and talk about range with you guys. All right. So before I show the charts, I know one thing that we always tend to do is we always tend to want to try to predict the breakout, right? But predicting the breakout a lot of times, if you've had experience with ranges, can lead to a lot of heartache, a lot of capital loss, things like that. And so let me go ahead and talk about it with you guys really quick, kind of show what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go ahead and go in here. So right here we can see that we have gold right now, and if you look on the daily time frame, we've been ranging pretty much from 1655, 1660 to about 1680, 1685. We've been ranging. This week was FOMC, so there was some volatile news, stuff like that. But you can see, like right now, we're just ranging, and so yeah, right now it's just in this kind of range. So today, you can see on the 4-hour. If you notice, when we're in ranges, the 4-hour is not as consistent. It may start off a little consistent, but I would say in the range, the more unreliable it becomes, as you can see. And so today, for example, as you can see on the 4-hour, prices have been closing within this like 1676 to 1678 range. Prices have been closing in this range, right? And so in here, you're like, okay, cool. Anything in between here, I can just trade, you know? And so today, during New York session, we had this happen. So New York Open is at 8 o'clock for my time. So here's New York Open, right? And so here we're in the range, and right here, price closes out outside the range, right? And then it leaves a 4-hour candle closing outside the range. So if you see that, you might think, okay, sweet, yeah, that could be a great option for a buy and see if we can continue this what's going on right here. But don't forget that we're in a range, like high time frame range. So even though it may look like the 4-hour candle closed out here, therefore it means we should continue. It's not. It doesn't. The charts don't have to do anything. The charts are the charts, right? We simply read it and we use the information given. So for me, I didn't look for something to break out of the range today. You wanna know what I did? Let me show you what I did today. Today, I took a sell, basically right as this candle started breaking this candle. Now you might ask, why would I do that? It's outside the range. This is outside of the range. Why would you take a trade outside that candle? I did that because, like I said, from like 1678, so right here to here, we're in this range. It's a range, a high time frame range. So, and a lot of times when price shows signs of breaking out, it just goes back in the range. It just fakes you out. And so it's exactly what we had on a 4-hour. It was simply a fake out back into the range. So today, I didn't take like a trade I held for a long time or anything like that. I took the trade down to the support area and closed out. So I mean, literally I was in the trade for, anywhere between 5-10 minutes, and I was out of the trade. So it was a nice little trade there. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show this to kind of help you guys keep in mind that, like, when you're in a trade or when you're in a range, be very mindful that don't forget we're in a range. So don't try to catch the breakout, because I already know a lot of people think, okay, for breaking out of the range here, I'll have to wait for some kind of retest. Like for example, like right here, for example, I'll go wait for retest and then we can continue and just can keep going. Or, oh, we broke out of the range here. You see, we broke out of this range. I'm just gonna buy it so I can just keep going. I can catch this big move. Like, understand that if you're looking for buys, you look for buys down here. If you look for sells, you look for sells up high. You gotta understand that. because if you don't, and you find yourself trying to trade, a breakout or things like that, let's look how many times you would be in trouble if you try to trade a breakout. Okay, let's say you try to trade a breakout. So here we don't know in a range. I won't even count that. So here, let's see. Let's say here you try to catch a breakout. Let's see. So there's one candle or one set that went back in the range. This went back in the range. This is back in the range. This is back in the range. This is back in the range. This came down way down here. Came way back in the range. This came all the way up here. Came way back down the range. This came back a little bit. This came back in the range. This came up here today. Came back in the range. So look at all these spots where price has rejected and come back into this range that has been roughly from here to here. Look at all this whole area right here, this whole little terrible box I'm drawing. Look at this whole area where price has just been ranging. And so looking at it from this way, does it seem kind of silly to try to look for a buy up here? You think it comes up here, you're like, oh yeah, it's a buy. It's like, no, like it won't work. It doesn't work like that. Like, it just doesn't. The best option that you're going to have, the safest option, is buying at the low of the range, selling at the high of the range. And if you really want, and here's the thing, if you're wanting something to get out of the range, just wait for it to come out of the range. You know, like for example, if you want to see price come out of the range and start seeing more sells, let price push down. Let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Wait for it to pull back and respect in these areas where price was ejected before. Respect it, and then once you see a chance for price to push down, then take the trade. Don't try to guess. You know what I'm saying? Like don't try to guess the breakout, because yes, you might get lucky. Let's say even you get in right here and you get lucky and you do take the breakout and you get the move down. Great, but how many times? Like we just counted. How many times did you try to catch the breakout? How many times? You try to catch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that's like 10 times right there in this range where you try to catch the breakout. I won't even count these two because at this point we don't know when in range, right? So I'll let that allow that. So let's say like 7 to 8 times you'll try to break out of the range. By the time you take 7 or 8 trades trying to get out of the range, and you finally get the one trade that breaks out of the range, then like you've lost a lot of your capital. Let's say you risk 1% for each trade. Let's say 7 of them didn't work. That means you lost 7% trying to take a breakout. And then finally you get that one trade that works out. And then finally you get, okay, let's say you make a 1 2 risk reward, 1 to 3 risk reward. Let's say you get the full risk reward of of 3, like 3x your income, right? Okay, so you lost 7%. You finally get the trade you want. You gain 3%. You're still down 4%. So instead of doing that, why don't we just stay patient, see what price does? When you see it pushing down, stay calm, relax, see how the candles close, and see if it shows signs of reversal. And if it reverses, just take it back up into the range. Or reverses up here, take it back down the range. Or if you're not comfortable holding it all the way up to the range, then wait till it gets to a certain point and close the trade. Get the cheese, like, you know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to mention that. I feel like ranges are a really, really tough thing, especially for traders who experience like impatience each day. That was me. Each day I'd be very impatient. I would think I need to trade today, but ultimately you don't have to. Like today, I think I've taken, I think this week I've taken 3 setups. I think one was a really great setup. The other one was like a break even. And then one of the setups, I took it. Then I took a small loss on it, but that took the same setup because it actually started to pan out well. And so I gave it another shot, and I ended up making a profit from it. So like, I've only traded like 3 times this week, and tomorrow's Friday. So it's like, this is another thing too, just learning to have discipline and learning to be able to just follow your plan. But anyway, that's for a different topic. I hope that's helpful. Just kind of seeing how to trade ranges, at least how I trade ranges. Just ultimately just be patient. If the higher time frame shows we're just ranging, we're wicking in this area back and forth, either play the range or just be patient and wait for clear price action to come up. And sometimes you might have to wait a while. You might have to wait a few days. You might have to wait a week or two. I mean, it is what it is. If that's the case, then you can look at a different pair, or yeah, something like that. All right, guys. Hope this is very helpful. If you guys want any other videos, let me know, and I'll be glad to make them. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you later.